We got some interesting stories this week. This one we actually heard about a little bit before and didn't talk about it on last week's very packed Talking Wednesday because we only had one source for it. And then Sky go and report it, and now it's true. We said, could we talk about this because we don't really know if it's credible? We held it back, and it is credible. Eric Alonso tried to buy the club. Chansiri rejects it. So Sky Sports said the Spaniard who owns the management company, WBD Sports, and is said to be backed by a wealthy Indonesian consortium, offered between 25 million and 30 million for a 100% stake. That is slightly different to what we heard, so we will discuss that in a second. It's also worth mentioning that Eric's now gone completely off Twitter. He's linked with buying Derby as well. There's a lot of sort of drama still around this Eric Alonso situation, but I do think it's coming to the end.
Yes.
Because Chansiri obviously turned it down.
He said no, basically.
If this is true in the first place, it's worth mentioning. We heard that there was going to be some sort of fan backing behind this because the way Eric Alonso was pandering to the fans that he was going to offer the fans a stake in it and all of that. And we were like, do we really put this into the show because we're not sure if we buy it? I could see him probably throwing an offer at Chansiri, but for 25-30 million, that's what he paid for it.
Yeah. He paid, I think it was about 37 million, and then it would be add-ons.
So even less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you put in what he put in already.
That's what I was thinking. He's probably going to want about 40 for it at least, because then you're sort of like, well, I've got to cut my losses.
Well, let's have a look. 60 million for the ground.
Yeah, let's forget that he said he's put like 250 million.
Yeah, let's just put aside all the money he's put in, because at the end of the day, you can put a load of money into a house and do it up. But if the market's not in the right place, so say 60 million for the stadium there, plus 20 to 30 million, and I've heard talk that he wants 150 million for it, which for Wednesday is probably a decent price. In our current form and current world situation, it ain't going to happen. No one buying football club when everything's going off.
150 million for a club that's 21st in the Championship.
Yeah.
He's going to have to get us to the Prem if he wants 150 million for us.
Exactly.
You don't buy a Championship club for 150 million.
No.
You know, like, he's going to be lucky to get 50 out of this club. It's a shambles.
60 at a push.
No, I don't agree. Like, and I'm sorry. This is the one thing that, like, it hurts being a Wednesday fan and saying this, but
we're not worth.
We've got to look. You take the fan base, you take the merchandising opportunities and things like that. But Chansiri has tried so many things to get more money out of the fans by upping the ticket prices, the merchandising. He has done it all to try and compete with financial fair play by rinsing the fans of their money. Nobody's going to look at that and go, I'm going to spend 50 million and be able to somehow do it differently and make the money from the fans, because they're going to get hit with financial fair play in the same way.
Also, just remembered, he owns Elevate, which is our kit sponsors. So you've got to throw in the kit makers as well, because he owns it. You've got to.
I didn't know he owned Elevate.
Yeah, he owns Elevate. So he owns Elevate, or he owns something. I think there's something in company houses that says he owns Elevate. That's how we do the kits, kind of thing. Right. He pays the kit. So are you then also paying him for the clothing line with the club as well? If you know what I mean.
Honestly, Chansiri is embedded into every aspect of this club at the minute in that regard. But before we talk about that, what do you think about Alonso? What do you think about the Alonso situation?
It feels very PR spin. It feels like he's trying to get fans on board to go, I want to buy the club. And the thing is, the consortium that it was a club called Bali FC, I believe it is, who he's already a stakeholder in. So it feels like they want to go, we got this Indonesian club that we want to keep, but we also want to have the Championship club who can feed either players to our club or vice versa, kind of thing. And at first, when we saw all the stuff about Alonso going out, I was like, okay, fair enough, that's happened. But then you see this, it screams of just wanting more attention. And did he put the bid in? Is that why he left his role? Was the bid in before this all happened and he turned it down and he said, right, if I can't buy the club with these, I'll go?
Yeah.
Or is this, and then that's why he released it? We don't know when this bid came out. That's
I'm
the
kind
thing.
of sick of hearing about him now.
I've had enough of it, to be honest with you.
Unless he comes out and talks to talks to someone in the press or gives an actual story or can back it up, because he came out, obviously, the first time and said that it'll all come out in the wash sort of thing. I'll talk about it when it's the right place to do it. I don't know. It's 25, 30 million. He possibly did throw that at Chansiri, and Chansiri was like, "Are you having a laugh? We're in an interesting world situation where I'm not going to recoup anything on this." And Chansiri has always said he'll sell the club, but he wants ridiculous money for it, right? So he's not going to sell it to Alonso, is it?
And it's also that other thing. I wonder how much there is pressure from at home to get rid of it, because you don't know what it's doing to him mental health wise and general health wise. Because I can't think owning a football club during with what's going on in the world is an easy thing to do, and with the fact that you can't be here to kind of run it anyway and look after it. Because I don't know if his advisors, that the other advisor is in the country. I don't know if he's somewhere else. It feels like that you've got a club that you've got two people who are remotely working, where you want someone on the ground to be able to make sure things right. There's only so much you can do by remote working than actually being there.
No, yeah, well, we are going to talk about Chansiri and whether he should sell the club or not at a later date. We were going to talk about it today, but we're not going to do that because there's so much we can talk about in terms of his pros, his cons, and things like that. You've obviously done a recent video on his pros and cons. We'll probably do that when the fixtures get back to it. I want to hear a little bit more about the pitch situation, because I think that could actually leak into it a little bit more. We could find out a little bit more about his intentions going forward. But Alonso, I just think he needs to talk to people, because at the minute he's seeming more and more like a chancer, especially with being linked with Derby. And he came out, and obviously the fans were looking for a stick to beat Chansiri with.
They got it.
Well, not everybody. I wasn't generalising, but there's that there. And Alonso was like, I'm just going to like everything, cause a load of drama and do that. And it just seems like he's had his moment in the spotlight. We've talked about him on 2 podcasts now. And he's now, obviously, I think he's leaked it to Sky. Because we were hearing it from we were hearing it from places.
We literally messaged each other going, we're not sure, we need another source. And then it came out like, maybe there's something there.
Well, yeah, and that our source was saying it was coming directly from Alonso himself, so he probably has leaked it to Sky, right? So that's a bit of inside track for you there, that Alonso has been talking to people on the back end. So I reckon he's taking it straight to Sky, said he's offered this, and I could see him tabling this offer, could never see Chansiri accepting it for that sort of money, No. So
I think it's one of those things, we are stuck with Chansiri till the whatever happens, and as everyone keeps saying, he should sell up. If people are saying he should sell up and go, could be a lot worse if someone comes in, or it could be a lot better. It's a risk you've got to take. We don't
know much about this Alonso guy. So what if he did buy the club and he started to be this shady already on the back end of it? We've got no idea, I want to know what you guys think on that, though. Do you buy this Alonso situation? Because the more I hear of it, there's nothing credible there for me anymore in terms of something that would actually work in the real world.
Yeah, but if there's anyone like what's the thick of it from the BBC, feels like Malcolm Tucker a little bit.
It's definitely an interesting one. But Eric Alonso, hopefully it's the last time we mention him for a while.
I really do hope it's the last time. I'm sick of digging it up.
I mean, you're always welcome on here to tell the story, mate. But I'm sick of hearing your name now, because we've not actually seen anything credible from it. And that if that bid had happened, it was never going to go through. No. So, yeah, moving on.